So another hike. This is my fourth day hiking in Montana, and up until today, everywhere I hiked, I went with no gun and no bear spray. But after watching a couple of videos on YouTube, I was convinced to get a canister of bear spray. I guess it shoots like 30 feet. But I feel a little bit more confident now, especially hiking alone on these back trails where there are mountain lions and there are definitely grizzlies. I've already seen one grizzly, and I've heard of many other sightings, and all you gotta do is search out on YouTube grizzly or mountain lion encounters or sightings in Glacier National Park. And there's a few pretty intense videos. But I figure even if I don't use this bear spray here in Montana, I can bring it home and, geez, it would probably be very useful against angry dindus. So we got these wild berries all along the trail. And at first glance, I thought they were raspberries. We've got wild raspberry bushes in my backyard. But upon inspection, pull them off, and they're not a raspberry. I think it's a huckleberry, I think. Delicious. I hope they're not poisonous. I think these are huckleberries, which are native to the Northwest, I think. Oh, if anybody knows, let me know. I know they're not a raspberry, or maybe they're a type of a raspberry. If anybody knows, tell me in the comments. They're delicious. They're everywhere. Man, I'm eating all the bear's food. You know, every now and then I'll get talking to somebody about what we're going to do after retirement. I mean, once you hit your 50s, it seems to come into conversation more often than you might think. So, quite often, I'll get a response like, oh, they look at you like a deer in the headlights when I tell them I'm going to move to Montana. They look at you like you got 3 heads. And usually their response is, boy, that's cold in Montana. Yeah, it looks really cold, doesn't it? I'm wearing a freaking tank top, and it's 90 degrees here. These are idiots that come from New York. Hasn't anybody ever heard of Buffalo? Where I live in New York, it gets sub-zero. It gets just as cold in New York as it does here in Montana. Every bit as cold. Maybe not as windy. You're up in the higher elevations. But I usually give them a decent answer. But inside, what I'm thinking is, if I have to explain why I want to move to Montana, you wouldn't understand. You know what? I think these are the huckleberries. These little things that look like blueberries, I think these are the huckleberries. I just ate one and it tastes delicious. Man, I hope they're not poisonous. So sweet. My goodness. Bears are going to be pissed off at me. So this was about a 2-hour hike, and I'm up at the top of Lake Shannon in Libby. Not nearly as spectacular as the other lakes that I've seen here, but this is beautiful nonetheless. Every body of water in Montana is beautiful.